What is up guys, it is Simba here and welcome back to another League Racing video on F1 25, and today we are back in EOR for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last video, which was in WR's Legacy Division, be sure to check that one out before you see this one. I highly recommend you check it out. It was a new sprint format in the tournament, which we've all tried out. So if you're looking forward to that one, check out, and if you're looking forward to this video, make sure you hit the like button and get subscribed for more League Racing content. We recently hit 700 subscribers and I'm very thankful for the support you guys have been showing on the channel. It does mean a lot. And here we are in qualifying in Q1, and you can see it is raining, and our first lap has put us only down in 17th place. So we've got to find an improvement on this final run. You can see there's quite a bit of time left on the timer as well. And you can see, despite sliding through the first three corners, we have found nearly a second. Track evolution is going to be quite a factor to see who gets through and who goes out. And the setup I was using, it was pretty much a makeshift setup for the rain, as we tapped the wall on the way through the Globe chicane. It's looking like a very scruffy lap. We are fighting the car through every corner at the minute. You know, you need smooth input on a controller on this year's game, and so far this lap has been anything but smooth. But the Delta is telling me otherwise. 2.2 seconds up going into the end of Sector 2, going into this left-hander. Very easy to go straight on if you're not careful on the brakes, as we gain an extra 6/10 of a second purple in both sectors, despite fighting the car like crazy, as we're draining the battery now down this 1.4 mile long straight. I think it's 1.4 miles, unless I'm confusing it with Baku. But it's a very long back straight, which prepares you for the final chicane. Down the gears, down to third. Make sure we're, you know, not exactly hitting the apex, but we just kiss the curb because it's in the wet conditions. 3.5 seconds up as we exit the chicane with a clean exit. And it's just a run to the line now. And we cross the line and we go P2 with a 41.5. Just a few hundreds off P1. But is it going to be enough to get into Q2?
To the line, we've got a lot of traffic now exiting turn 16. We could see a lot of drama as the order changes rapidly. Zuadek with the quickest time out there. Then it's the two AMR cars who are currently facing elimination. Maxime into P4, Dom into P6. Who else do we have out there? RSC potentially eliminated. Jules P13. As Albi into P7, Gavrachi to P5, Lawrence to P4, Seb to P10, Kevin up to the line, into P1. It's Prairie Bell B, crosses the line, goes P16. Both RSC drivers knocked out here in dramatic fashion. Meanwhile, as Lifeboat at risk here, Misha crosses the line in P9, and that's ET8 Lifeboat out in Q1. In Q1, Lifeboat for ET8, both RSC drivers in Prairie Bell B and ET8 Jules, and FRT Quantum and TAR pilots who are serving qualifying bans here. But both RSC drivers to be out this early is a surprise. But an even bigger surprise is ET8 Lifeboat, who ET8 are P2 in the championship, and one of their drivers knocked out here in Q1 in this dramatic session.
Oh my god, I might be out here. I might be out by a few hundreds. Oh, get in. Let's go. We're through. Nah, never in doubt. Never in doubt, lads. Look at that. P15. Easy. So you can see there a dramatic end to the session, and we just scraped through by 300ths of a second. Lifeboat goes out with the RSC cars, and my teammate Parlos and Quantum serving qualifying bans. So we are into Q2. Another rare Q2 appearance on the channel. Get in there. So here we are then in Q2. We're going to be doing a lap on the old set of intermediate tyres that we used to get into Q2. Obviously, you get 3 sets, so we're trying to save another set for later, but it is actually going to be drying up towards the end of the session. So we're just getting a lap on the board as we prepare for the conditions to get better.
dry up in about 5 minutes' time. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So there you go, there is the weather update from Mark Priestley himself, and you can see we're near the end of the session, and we are currently 3.5 tenths up on our lap right now, and if we finish this lap, we go into the top 10, as we're half a second up, but for some reason, I decided to back out of the lap, go into the pits, as I'm thinking that the dries will be a lot faster, and obviously you don't want to be on the wrong tyre at the wrong time. It's a rule of thumb in F1, you have to be on the right tyre at the right time, but unfortunately, this decision comes back to bite me right in the arse. You can see we are on the soft tyres, but we've gone out a little bit too late, so we don't have enough time to actually get a lap in on the soft compounder tyre, and even on the out lap, the grip wasn't really there. So we've absolutely shot ourselves in the foot, as we've got 10 seconds to go. You can see how wide we've gone in that chicane. That just tells you that there's no grip at all. So that is game over. A poor decision and poor timing has cost us a chance to get into Q3 or potentially sneak through. And it's going to be P12 at the highest.
I literally would have
And
had
you
a
can
lap
see
that
me
would
just
have got me to
really annoyed
Q3
there.
if I just did
I
back
could
out
have
of it.
actually been through in the top 10 provisionally if I had actually done a lap and finished it instead of pitting. But yeah, we're out. You can see the softs didn't quite work. A few people tried it and it didn't quite work, but we're P15. I will say my lap would have been enough for P12, which isn't much, but when you are in Q2, you want to be, you know, if you're going to get knocked out, you want to be 11th or 12th because you have the best chance of getting into the top 10. And Q3, Gav Roach on pole, just by 300s to Jensen, Kevin Zonderberg in 3rd, Marciano in 4th, Maxime 5th, Sieb in 6th, Van der Geest 7th, Lawrence, Dom and Misha completing the top 10. And we're starting 15th, so I wasn't too fast. I was actually feeling quite confident about my race pace for this one. Obviously, CSS Las Vegas went quite well, just apart from a spin. And the setup, I've actually managed to adjust it perfectly. So, we know what we're doing. I know what the strategy is. We're going to do an undercut on the mediums. So let's see what we can do from 15th on the grid.
We will now have the 5 red lights on here in EOR Console Division, round 11, and the lights are out, and we're away as Gavrachi leads Duran down into turn 1. Duran on the inside though, looking on Gavrachi. Can he find any grip on the inside? Kevin Zuberg battling with Alex Marciano, and Kevin getting through on the ET8 driver as Maxime in behind as the 2 leaders on the hard tyres, as in behind many on the mediums as well. Lawrence battling with Seb here, as in behind we've got Feder Spig on the inside. Misha boxed in on the outside here, becomes the inside of the next corner, going to get through as Dom on the inside of Seb, and Misha broken front wing surely for the EVR car, went far too deep there into the rear of the cars ahead. And does Misha have damage as Gavrachi continues to hold the lead off the start here? But I think Misha has damage, and yes, front right amplit.
So, quite a start to this race. Meanwhile, we are up into P13. We've gained 2 places off the start. Gav Roach leads the way, and we're looking to see if we can try and pass Nilo on the hard tyre. As... is he on the hards? Yeah, he is. He is on the hards. I think along with Feder Spiger as well. As we go into the Globe chicane, you can see Nilo having a move on the Alpine. They're locking wheels as we go through. We're going to set up a switchback, and we do get the Alpine. We might get the Haas as well on the exit, as we're looking to use our medium tyres to good effect, but we decide just to back out of it there. And you're probably wondering, Brad, why have you done that? Why have you backed out? And the reason why I say that is as Feder Spiger goes right back up the inside as we fend him off. The reason why is because it's lap 2. You can see we've gained 3 places, and we're not far off a top 10 position. So there's no point trying to throw that away, going side by side, going into a left-hander, which might lead to tears. So we'll sit in P12 for now. You can see now Nilo is having a go at Misha going into turn number 1. Remember, the Ferrari has front wing damage from the opening lap, just hit the brakes way too late. So we have to bear that in mind. And Nilo goes dancing round the outside to complete quite the move on the Ferrari driver. Fair play to him on the hards. And now we're looking to try and follow the SCI driver through as Misha's squeezing us onto the inside line there near the wall. And we did get our braking wrong in CSS. We don't do it this time around. We're still side by side with the Ferrari driver going into the Globe chicane, and we are making a bit of contact, but I want this position as we are still wheel banging about. As we exit the Globe chicane, we get the outside line and we get ahead. Yes. And that completes a very nice move. Up to P11 we go in this race, as there's a lot of carnage behind us.
A questionable move as Dom battles with Max into turn 12. Dom getting through now, and Max on the rear. Can he get the result? Oh, in the background! Big contact, 3 cars involved, even more cars involved. As the McLaren of Quantum involved here, cars absolutely everywhere in the midfield. We're almost 5 wide down the main straight. Where is everyone going? Oh my lord! We're almost 5 wide down the Las Vegas strip here. There's cars absolutely everywhere. Who's getting through the Mercedes? Gets through, we're 3 wide through turn 15. That's not gonna happen. And around goes both our SC cars.
So, a lot going on behind us, involving our teammate, sadly. And he's struggling to make up places. We're still P11 as we are on to lap number 4. Nilo just drops it into the wall. And you can hear my reaction. I can't believe what I've just seen. And a safety car has been called out on lap number 4. In the words of Arva, we've got a safety car on lap number 4. And that is going to actually twist this race completely, because that has forced us to make our mandatory pit stop a little bit earlier than I had planned. So our strategy remains the same. We're just boxing a little bit earlier onto the hard compound tyres. A free pit stop for everyone. And we are going to go onto the hards and maybe get to the end of the race, because pitting again is the #1 way to lose out on points. As
why is Steve just lagged in front of me? What?
One stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy.
Meanwhile, Seb has some sort of teleportation ability as he's emerged in front of us coming out of the pits, but we're up to P9 now, gaining 6 places in the opening 7 laps of the Grand Prix. So we've done really well in the opening stages, but now it's time to go racing again. Safety car is in, and we are getting going again in Las Vegas from P9. You can see Kevin Zonneberg down the order a little bit as we've got a car on the inside. That's AMR Dom. And we had to give him space as he absolutely sent it going into the first corner. But you can see he's really lost out through turn 3. And that's because my internet has shafted him. It looked like on his POV, I've just moved across him and given him damage. So his race is ruined. And I did joke about it with him afterwards. As you can see, there's a lot of kerfuffle going on in front of us. A few people have stayed out on hard tyres, and one of them is Fede Spiga, who's lost out to Maxime in the sister Red Bull. We've got the DRS, we've got the overtake, as we're looking to go up the inside again, going into this right-hander. He shuts the door on us really well there, and Lifebout, who was 16th on the grid, is right on our gearbox as well. We get a better drive as well on the fresher tyres, but we can't quite make anything work going into the Globe chicane, and we just have to sit behind him for now. But Lifebout smells blood in the water. He goes up the inside, looking to make those medium tyres work, and somehow we don't collide, and somehow we keep him at bay. So we're P8 looking to pass Fete Spiga.
That position ahead. Meanwhile, Lifeboat on the rear of Simbarox 1, and Simbarox 1 connection. Just really difficult to see what's happening. On board with the Aston Martin as he goes down the inside of Feder Spiga. He goes deep though. Feder Spiga into the wall on the ASRT car with damage, and he just completely got the braking all wrong.
Oh dear. Well, I didn't touch him. He's off by himself.
Well, that happened. So we went up the inside of Fede Spiga, and I thought I put him in the wall.
I didn't touch him.
And you can clearly see by the different streams and my own POV, we made no contact with him. And he went into the wall by himself. My engineer, Armin Lewandowski, actually just told me that it was a skill issue. So we're up into P7, make that P8 as Lifeboat does get past us on those medium tyres. I'm not too fussed because as long as we're sitting in the train and keeping up with the cars in front, we'll be in a good position by the time this race is over. And some people have to pit. So we're not going to rush into anything as of yet. And no warnings at the moment as well. It's hard to get warnings in Vegas unless you make genuine mistakes like that, as that is our first warning of the day on lap 11. But you know, that won't be really much of a problem. It's really hard to get warnings around here unless you make genuine mistakes like we just did there. So we're just chilling. You can see Max van der Geest I don't think he's pitted yet, but coming into the chicane, he's flown off the circuit. And that is a free position. I have no idea how he's done that. But that is us up into P7 now in this Vegas Grand Prix from 15th on the grid. So we're doing quite a good job to just pick up places with all the carnage going on around us. And it helps that the pace felt really, really solid in this race. It felt really good. So we're able to keep up with the cars in front. And you can see lap 15, the pole sitter, VNT Gavroche, in the pits from a higher position. So he doesn't think he can get those tyres at the end of the Grand Prix. And that puts us up into P6. I'm not too sure if he actually boxed yet or not. And my assumption is he hasn't boxed. So that is us up into P5 now. You can see now, onto the end of lap 17, Kevin Zonneberg is going right at it with Lawrence in the FRT McLaren. One of the new signings, one of the recent signings to the team. And you can see Kevin has actually managed to complete the move. A very gutsy move from Kevin. He's back into the podium places. But what that means is that scrambling between those two has put us in contention for a potential podium as we are sat in P5. We stay there for quite a while until lap 21 where Maxime and Kevin have swapped places as well. And Lawrence doesn't have any DRS and his red light is flashing, so he wants to save the battery down this straight. We take advantage of it and we're up into P4 in this Vegas Grand Prix. And it's turning into our best race on this game at the moment as the pace is still feeling good. We are just outside the podium places and the top three are going at it at the start of lap 22. And that's going to get us right into the frame. Kevin takes the lead of the race as Marciano down in second place. Maxime third, we're fourth. And we've got DRS as well to the top three. So a podium could be on the cards. We just need to make sure we make the right moves. And this is something I didn't really expect when we qualified 15th on the grid, but it's been a very, very chaotic race. A lot of scrambling, everyone seems very aggressive, but we've managed to keep our cool, make moves happen, and we're in this position. But unfortunately, we get our second warning for track limits, which isn't ideal, so we're going to have to bear that in mind. No more warnings for the rest of the race. As you can see behind us, Nilo is trying to pass Lawrence going into the chicane.
What the hell is Nilo doing? What is Nilo doing now? What is he doing? Idiot. Fuck's sake, we just lost 6/10 to the cars in front.
And my frustration is made very, very clear. You can see we've lost the DRS now to Maxime and Kevin in front of us as Marciano takes the lead of the race now. And that is basically ended our chance at a podium. It's hard to get back in the train once you've lost DRS on this game. And passing Lawrence meant we had a car in between ourselves and Nilo in case we were under pressure at some point. So we don't have that luxury anymore because we don't have any battery, we don't have any DRS. We're in the exact same spot that Lawrence was 2 laps ago. And we have absolutely no choice but to let him through and relinquish P4. And unfortunately for us, that seems to be the highest position we're going to get. Unless the top three start scrambling away at each other again. And to cause a bit of carnage to get us back in. So it's not ideal.
Armin, do you know anything about the battery of the top three?
Meanwhile, I'm asking my engineer about updates about battery and tyres because it's going to be very crucial at this stage. We've got 2 laps. And we can still maximise the result. I don't have the information I want, which is going to annoy me quite a lot.
Right, good comms, mate, good comms. Very well done.
And there you go, the frustration is pouring out of my engineer. I think this was very costly because I don't really know where everyone else stands in terms of battery, because I'm trying my best to save it and I'm not really getting any feedback from my engineer.
Doesn't say anything. He's disappeared.
And as a result, I don't really know if we can get that P4 back. And the podium is still on the cards if something happens.
Yeah, mate, I'm asking you about updates up ahead. There's a podium at stake and you're not saying anything.
But it seems to be out of reach, and my frustration is getting lashed out on my engineer because he wasn't really saying anything to me at this point in the race. I'm trying my best to save my battery. The tyres are going off as well. I think we've hit about 80% at this stage. Remember, we put on these tyres for 20 laps, so I am going to be feeling a lot of pressure to make sure we nurse these tyres to the end of the race. We repassed Lawrence on lap 24, and I know what's coming now because we're not exactly in the best position to retain this position. It's because we're going to have to defend with ERS down the Vegas strip, which is the worst position you want to be in if you're the car in front on the final lap of the race. So we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. And unfortunately, we get this corner wrong. You can see the Ray just stepping away from us there through the corner and on the exit. And now there's going to be an easy move for Lawrence to make. And we're going to lose at least 2 places because you can see Jerome out of nowhere. I don't know where he's come from, but he's on medium tyres, using his fresh rubber to good effect, looking to make a double overtake, going into the chicane. We lose out 2 places, but they both go wide. But we don't have the grip to match Jerome's run out of the chicane, but we might be able to get Lawrence. But we're just running out of battery, running out of steam, and we've lost 2 places on the final lap. And it is going to be a P6 finish in the Vegas Grand Prix. And you can see I was very frustrated at the end because the podium just slipped away from us as soon as we got into position where it was possible. And you can see me just facepalming there in the bottom right hand side of the screen. Bit of a shame. The last few laps were a shame. I didn't get the updates I wanted there from the engineer, but I'm not going to blame him. It was still a great race regardless. Probably my best race on this game. Simply from a pace standpoint, it's been hard for me to be consistent with race pace on this game. Sometimes I'm looking really handy and other times I just look completely mid or non-existent. So it's nice to have a really good race under the belt. And that is going to be the end of today's video. So be sure to hit the like button, get subscribed, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And it's nice to get a good race under the belt. So until then, take care. And as always, I will see all of you in the next one.